if we can create our wealth framework in such a way that it preserves the existing wealth inside our corporation, then the money that it can generate will far exceed any kind of money that we can generate from our day-to-day work. Because when it works well, it works great and so much better than we could ever achieve by working day in and day out at the hospital. Hi, I'm Dr. Genhee So, founder of ElevateMD, and today we're going to talk about how to build wealth without more work. I think that this is a really important topic to talk about because a lot of us rest on the fact that we make a good income. And if we want to build more wealth, then we just work more. But if you're somebody like me who's been 18 years into practice, then you know that type of mentality only leads to burnout. And that burnout can look really ugly. And unfortunately, it comes in the versions of dissatisfaction at work, feeling guilty about being at work too much, not spending enough time with our family, and just being grumpy and unhappy in general. So it's really important, I think, for us to understand when it comes to preserving our well-being and making sure that we can work sustainably and still stay happy at work as well as at home, that the work that we do and the income that we generate from it is not just meaningful in the sense of our practice, but also that we make sure that it's so efficient so that when we invest those hard-earned dollars, that it stays with us and doesn't get leaked out by taxes, and that it grows optimally inside our corporations. And I think the number one way to have this achieved for us is by understanding that the tax system is not just complicated, but there are many different opportunities for us to optimize tax mitigation. And so many of us don't even realize that they exist. I think when it comes to us building or creating our MedCorps, we understand the reason for it is for tax deferral. But what's often forgot or maybe not even understood in the first place, the more wealth that we accumulate inside the corporation, the more we are at risk for diminishing its tax deferral power. This is otherwise known as the SBD or Small Business Deduction grind down. I have more information about this on my website, which you can visit if you want to learn more. But suffice it to say, for the purposes of this video, that understanding that that exists in the first place is good enough at this point to recognize that it should be in the back of your mind that making sure that you preserve your wealth is just as important as making sure that you are working at a pace that is sustainable for the duration of your career. Because this is how we're going to make more money without having to work harder. The focus should be on preserving the existing wealth as opposed to trying to work harder to build the wealth in the first place. The other really important thing to realize here is that if we can create our wealth framework in such a way that it preserves the existing wealth inside our corporation, then the money that it can generate will far exceed any kind of money that we can generate from our day-to-day work. So we won't have to work harder at the hospital or the clinic. The wealth inside the corporation will compound and grow and exceed any kind of rate that we would otherwise achieve by working at the hospital. So just remember, when we're thinking about how to build more wealth without having to work more, it's all about preserving the existing wealth that we have and making sure that compounding in time is really working for you. Because when it works well, it works great and so much better than we could ever achieve by working day in and day out at the hospital or the clinics. I'm Dr. Genhee So, founder of ElevateMD. If you want to learn more about how to build your wealth without having to work more, visit my website at drgenheeso.com. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll catch you in the next episode.